Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages. Do you know what this is? I always start out with a question because I don't know much, but I try. This is a representation of the Lord God according to what the founding fathers thought they could get away with putting on the $1 bill, or what I call the Remnant society that has existed since before the Great Pyramid, that created this particular design in and of itself probably upwards of 50,000 years ago, but certainly before the pyramid was built, because of the clues and the codex that I have found in the Bible. But anyway, this is a representation of one God. Say the word one, one. In God we trust one, because there's no way that there could be two gods. That's impossible. Can't happen. Can only have one. Now, whose God it is, it doesn't matter. There's no special God. I think that God would say, if you believed in dirt and that was your God, if you didn't harm anybody or didn't think bad thoughts about doing evil stuff, I think God would be okay with that. I don't think he makes a difference. It certainly can't be that the Catholic Church has it right, because they're criminals. They can't be godlike if they're criminals. And you know they're criminals because for 1,000 years they've been doing that sick stuff with the children. And for 1,000 years they've been hiding it. They even have their own institution someplace in America. They even have their own institution someplace in America, the Catholic Church, where 200 priests have gone through for training to become human again. There are other ways to make that problem go away, you know. They don't have to go into an institution. They could go into a facility and get locked into a dungeon where they deserve to be. But anyway, this is how the founding fathers, this is what they thought they could get away with. Now, could there be God? Do I believe in a God? Yes. Because I found God in a garbage pail after he told me to look for him in a suitcase next to a garbage pail. And I said, what? And I started hearing this form of energy inside my head. Now I know that's hard for you to believe. Well, I gotta, look, my head is pretty, look, it's hard to get in there because it's thick. It's really thick. My skull is about, my skull's about this thick all the way around. And then inside of that, there's just a little teeny little piece of gray matter, and that's only working on a few watts. So to get in there and then to actually have a thought get inside there, it's hard. But anyway, I'm walking down the block and I hear this voice telling me there's something in a suitcase with your name on it. And I'm going, okay, who's talking to me? Walking my dog down 99th Street in Howard Beach. And the voice doesn't say who it is. And I figured who it was. I met them before. I call them the council. So I said, look, I don't know who you are, but I really don't want to deal with you tonight. It's snowing and sleeting. It says there's something of great value in a garbage pail with your name on it. I says, does it have to do with God? And it said, yeah. I said, okay, you got to prove it to me. So I made him, I challenged God. Imagine that. It's not too hard to believe. If you knew me, you'd understand. So I'm walking, I said, okay, there's something in a suitcase. Where's the suitcase? It tells me where the house is with the suitcase too, by the way. It doesn't just tell me where the suitcase is. It tells me there's two suitcases, both suitcases. It tells me what's in them. I said, this is too much. I'm walking my dog now. And I hear this voice telling me, no, there's something, it's got your name on it. I go, it's got my name on it? What is it? No, it's of great value. I'm going, well, what is it? You know, I mean, is it made out of gold and platinum and diamonds? It says yes. I'm going, okay, this sounds like a good deal. So I go down the block and I'm looking at the suitcase. I say, whoa, wait a minute. Before I make sure I pick this suitcase up, let me make sure this is from the guy upstairs and not the guy downstairs. So I says, okay, if there's something in the suitcase, it didn't want me to pick it up anyway. It said, don't pick them up till you're on your way back from the park. And I'm going, well, we got instructions coming with God too. Not only that, I said, you want to give me instructions? Let me give you some instructions while we're at it. So I tell them, The council, I said, look, here's what you got to do. There's a 1/2 inch of ice and sleet on the ground. You got to make a golf ball appear. A golf ball, regular golf ball. No pink golf ball, white golf ball, easy. You got to make a golf ball appear. It's got to be in a bicycle path, behind the tennis courts, in the back of Charles Park, dead center, in the middle of the bicycle path, and I'm going to measure it with something, stick, a board. I'm going to measure. It's got to be dead center. If the golf ball is more than a 64th of an inch off center, I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to pass. I'm not going to pick up the suitcase. So I walk around the park and I'm going, that golf ball there? The whole time it's telling me what's in the suitcases. I'm going, God is in a suitcase, huh? With my name on it. Yep, definitely going to happen. I'm going, okay. As long as we're going to find God in there, I'm good with it. So I go around the park, and sure enough, behind the tennis courts, there's a golf ball. Looks like it's in the middle of the bicycle path, encased in ice, like a little globe in ice. I rip the stick off the tree. I take a little whittling tool that I had, and I whittled a little mark in it, a little notch, and I put it on the one side of the bicycle path to the curb. It was 11 feet, the curb wide. I put it on the other side. This thing was dead center. It wasn't even, it was, you couldn't, I did it like 5 times. I'm going, okay, do I get to keep the golf ball too? Said, yeah, take the golf ball. I got the golf ball somewhere. Anyway, on the way back, I'm going, okay, I challenged God. He met my challenge. We're good, right? You're not supposed to do that, but you know what? I don't care. So I go back. I said, what else is in the suitcase? Give me a list as I'm walking. 47 things it gives me a list of. I get back to the suitcase. I start picking. He goes, if you pick the suitcases up, you can't let them down till you get to your house. They're heavy, though. I don't know how heavy these things are. Heavy. They're like 50 pounds a piece. It's like, okay, get to the suitcase, pick them up, get to the house. I got to carry them down the stairs, too, before I put them in the basement, by the way. I can't let them down outside. This thing is giving me orders here. So I said, okay. Get inside, put them, I get a piece of plywood, I make a big thing. I was a carpenter, I had some sheets of plywood, I cut a couple of horses up there off an old 10-inch radial arm saw, put it up there. So, all right, what's in the suitcase? I write down with a piece of paper, I write down 47 things for the 2 suitcases. In the last, all of those 47 items were in the suitcase, by the way. All of them. Not some of them, every one of them. There were about 500 things in the suitcase. By the way, to my brother Tommy, thanks for throwing that stuff out after I asked you not to, by the way. You're a real peach. Real prince. Anyway, in the suitcase it says it's got my name on it. I'm going, how's it got my name on it? And it says, well, it's got your name on it. All I see is an envelope. And I'm thinking to myself, if just an envelope, what could be in the suitcase? It was the last thing in the second suitcase. The last thing in the second suitcase. Imagine that. I found God in a garbage pail with my name on it. Remember I said it's going to have my name on it? It was in an envelope, and when I turned the envelope over, it said, for Michael. That's the craziest thing that ever happened to me in my whole life. No, not really. I had some other stuff. I found God in a garbage pail. You could find him someplace else. Who knows? He's probably everywhere. That's amazing. I tell you what. It's like I send pictures of this to people. They go, no, yeah. It's just a piece of junk metal with some gold plating and some platinum plating on it. It doesn't really represent God. In fact, it's an icon which God doesn't even like. It wasn't about God. It was about finding God. Not that I found them and kept them, because I lost them a few times along the way. But I try really hard. And I think I'm running out of time, so I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that they get this Gulf oil spill cleaned up, because this is a disaster in the making, and what we have is anything but God in charge of that disaster. In fact, the opposite of God said he was going to take charge today, and he's going to get right on it. He's going to get right on it. He's going to put some people on it. Anyway, did you ever find God? Try it. You'll like it. Michael Fazio from the Florida Keys saying, have a nice day.